Then after that, they go into the time machine again, and well, I don't know where they go, but they're somewhere on the outside of like time or something like that, and they meet this dolphin named Bubbles, and he pretty much just sees over the universe and like time and all that stuff. Kind of reminds me of Bill because like the triangle and stuff like that. Maybe he's Bill's like sidekick or something. I don't know, but anyways, he pretty much just has to like use the bathroom because that's what you have to do sometimes, and then so he makes SpongeBob and Plankton watch the plants and stuff, but then they screw up, and then he gets mad at them because the plants like crashed into each other, and then they escape into the time machine again, and they have those time machine scenes like at least several times, but this is pretty much the last time they do it, and so they go to the right time, and they pretty much just like say that they're a team and they try to get the formula back. Well, SpongeBob does, and he accidentally sets off the pressure plate, which causes the Krusty Krab to shut down. And while while modern SpongeBob's trying to get the formula back from past Plankton, past SpongeBob is telling Plankton, modern Plankton, these jokes and stuff, which the jokes were okay, but I felt they kind of dwelled into the, modern kind of jokes that SpongeBob tells nowadays. And so pretty much the Krusty Krab shuts down, and then so they have to get out. So they get the pirate guy that I talked to y'all about earlier in the movie, the guy who was narrating it. He pretty much goes upon land and he starts his own little like burger joint. Like he makes like this restaurant and stuff like that because remember he stole the Krabby Patty formula, and I guess he's just doing it to get money because he's a pirate and whatnot. But back to the SpongeBob side of stuff, SpongeBob and Plankton actually make it back to like modern times and stuff like that. And so when they make it back, they pretty much give them the Krabby Patty formula, but it's not really the Krabby Patty formula. It's the fake formula that Plankton made earlier in the movie, like I told y'all. And so pretty much Patrick, being the stupid person that he is, he goes into the time machine and he brings like this dinosaur, and so Plankton like gets mad at SpongeBob, for screwing it up, for getting the wrong formula and stuff like that, and they pretty much argue a bit. And I think this is probably the turning point or like the conflict in the movie, obviously, but like it's probably one of my favorite parts in the movie, and I know I said that a lot, but this is probably like one of like probably like my second, not probably first favorite part in the movie. And so pretty much Plankton like yells at SpongeBob and he just like flips out and starts like mixing the garbage and recyclables together. But to me it just felt a bit underwhelming. And I say that because remember in Can You Spare a Dime when SpongeBob got mad and he sent Squidward back to work because he was like living at SpongeBob's house and he was like annoying him a lot and stuff like that. I wish maybe something similar could have happened to that because remember SpongeBob got like really mad at Mr. Krabs and started like choking him and yelling at him and all this stuff. I wish maybe something similar could have happened with Tim Plankton. Like maybe he could have gotten mad, or like instead of him kicking the trash can, maybe we could have seen like tears in his eyes or something, just to see how much those words hurt him or something. I mean, I just felt like it could have been a bit better. Then after that, SpongeBob just pretty much realizes what he's done, and so they try to sacrifice him so that then they could get Krabby Patties back because, you know, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but pretty much Sandy went crazy and she started like telling everyone like, like they have to sacrifice someone in order to, get Krabby Patties back and all that stuff, and so pretty much SpongeBob just vows to do it, and of course Squidward was the one to like, just be like the first one just to throw him in and all that stuff. But the thing that I feel about the scene, when they're trying to sacrifice him and stuff like that, I almost wish they could have done it just so that then they could compete with the first movie because remember in the first movie SpongeBob almost died. I wish that maybe there could have been some sort of secret death in this movie, like how the first one was. I thought I thought there could have been like some sort of added bonus to this movie that the first one kind of had, but I'll talk about that in the end of the review when I compare the two movies and stuff like that. But pretty much before SpongeBob's crushed, Mr. Krabs like saves him because earlier SpongeBob was saying like that he smelled something and stuff like that. It smelled like Krabby Patties, and so pretty much Mr. Krabs smells too. And then they all just like journey off to try to find where it's coming from, and then it's above the surface and stuff like that. And so when they find this out, it's kind of funny because the secondary characters just leave and stuff like that. I kind of thought that was funny, but the thing that I don't get is like I don't like. I just have to say this right now. I don't really like Patrick that much in this movie because he pretty much just keeps the same whole modern sort of attitude and stuff like that that he has in the mine seasons because like pretty much he's just complaining about like them having feet and stuff like that, and it's just like I don't know, it just annoyed me a bit and stuff like that. But anyways, they're like bickering and whatnot, and I don't know how, but out of nowhere Plankton's like there, and he pretty much just like stows away in SpongeBob's sock, and while they're still bickering, Bubbles comes back, and then pretty much he's like thanking them for like saving him from his job because he was in that job for a while and he just really needed a change and stuff like that. So he pretty much helps them try to get up to the surface, and then when they get there, the art style kind of changes to like CGI, and I have to say the CGI really isn't that bad. Like, I mean, other than their superhero counterparts, like I think that their regular, like normal forms look really good. The facial expressions and stuff like that is really nice. So pretty much they're looking around, just wondering like, what is this place and stuff like that. And so eventually they find Burger Beard and they pretty much find out that he sold the formula and stuff like that. And so he used the book to transport him to Pelican Island, which it pretty much has all the pelicans that were with them earlier, like on the ship and stuff like that, and they're pretty much trying to attack them, but somehow SpongeBob gets a piece of the book. I forgot how, but he uses it to write themselves as superheroes and stuff like that. And I kind of thought the joke was funny that, you know, Squidward inked and stuff like that. I mean, they tell that joke a couple of times in the series, but I guess it just doesn't get old. They go back and they have this fight scene pretty much, and some of the jokes in it I thought were alright. Other jokes I thought weren't as good, but I mean, I guess it just depends on your sense of humor. But it was an okay fight. It was pretty much like at the last couple of minutes of the movie, and after it, pretty much Plankton has like a change of heart, sorta, because later he changes back. Spoiler, I guess, but pretty much he gives Mr. Krabs back the formula and stuff like that, and pretty much